Alright guys, I'm here with a casted game of myself. I had a really good game and I just wanted to record it because it probably won't be available after the beta ends. So game starts out, I do my pretty standard raw build order. Let me just turn down the music's a bit loud. I'll make sure you guys can hear me in the game. Alright, so start out just by putting villagers on food. Actually, wait, that's my opponent. Let me go to my perspective. So, getting villagers on food, I get the monument to villagers because it gives an AoE buff. So it's also buffing my granary, so I get more food. It's buffing the town center, so this villager drops off more wood. And it's going to be buffing the mining camp. Alright, look at my opponent. He,
Greek.
I don't know if the buffs stack with the priest. If anyone knows, please say something in the comments if I post this. But I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward through the early game because not really too much happens. You know, I'm scouting. I'm just you know, getting to H2 and really just kind of seeing what goes on here. So anyway, eventually I get my food. I get my temple down, I'm aging up, and we both hit classical age around the same time. And my strategy here is I'm doing a fast heroic, so just kind of balancing my resources. I accidentally built a market. I meant to build an armory. This was a misclick. And let's take a look at our opponent. Let's see what they're up to. So they are also doing a fast heroic. They got their stronghold down. They got some heroic units. We're gonna go ahead and go back to my perspective, and we're just gonna go ahead and make everything revealed. So at this point, we're both heroic. I'm getting out some military from my stronghold. Also, because I built extra monuments, I have a lot of favors, so I'm making some of these guys. They shoot lasers. They're awesome. My opponent's getting an army together, a bunch of chariot archers and some myth units. Pretty scary army.
Anyway.
So I like my 3-unit army: chariot archers, pestuchos, might have pronounced that wrong, and of course priests. So anyway, my enemy opponent decides to... Why is this not normal speed? Feels like it's going faster than it's supposed to. Might be a bug with the replay, but so anyway, these guys are really strong. So even though he outnumbers me, I use my myth thing, so I'm just nuking these chariot archers, so they can't really fight. A little bit of mice micro here. I realize I don't have enough priests to deal with this, so I kind of fall back and wait for priests to spawn. And then I just got the priests focusing the heroic unit or the myth units. And I'm trying to have my myth units focus the chariots, and I'm able to hold them off. Okay, so I think slow speed's actually normal speed. That's interesting. So maybe just a bit of a labeling error, or maybe a bug, I don't know. But anyway, I hold him off. And I'm just trying to rebuild my army because I have a feeling he'll strike again, so... and actually, yeah, I had a feeling he was coming over here, so I came here to stop him from pushing my villagers off with the gold. Because I knew those villagers were kind of in danger. So he's trying to pick off as many of his units as well to come out ahead. But this game's only getting started. So we're going to speed it up a bit until the next fight. So I decided to take some trades here. He's not building enough priests. He really needs priests to deal with my myth units. So the lack of priests on his end just allows me to take really good trades. And in terms of my macro, let's see, which one of these is me actually? Am I the one on the right? I don't know, this UI is a little confusing because we're both playing raw. Okay, I'm the one on the right. So I'm floating a lot of wood, but I'm going to be using those to make chariot archers. So I fall back because I need a lot of priests here to deal with this. And let's see, I'm trying to remember what, oh yeah, he comes to kill these, so I have to fall back, and I think I'm a little slow to react. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna lose probably, I see I have 13 bills here. I'm gonna lose a lot of them. And yeah, so I'm bringing lots of priests over. I need to bring these guys over, but just having a little bit of difficulty microing everything. But now I got the priests, so priests should be able to deal with the myth units. I think I'm panicking a bit here, so I finally get the priests on the myth units. I got all my army together. And now I should be able to take a fight. I retreat the villagers, find something else for them to do. And he's a little bit mismicroed. He's still taking out a house while my priests are taking out his unit. So I push him back again, I think. And he starts to fall back because he realized he lost his myth unit. So still, scores are pretty close. I'm behind, but not over. So anyway, I'll go back to global visibility. I was trying to see if I saw something. So we're going to speed things up. So massing an army, and I decided to push out again, or maybe not. I think I realized I need more priests. So I've got a bit of a balanced army here. And I'm pushing out again, and I see his army and I realize it's a bit much for me to take, so I try to fall back a bit. Wasn't really comfortable with this fight, but I saw what his army was, so... Oh, and I think I end up seeing this, so I decided to go over there. And I had a feeling he would launch a counterattack when I do this. So, decided to just, you know, get some quick and easy villager kills. So the enemy decides to push in, so I evacuate these. We kind of trade villagers. And I have a feeling he's going to engage me, and I don't really want to take this engage, so I fall back this way. But then I realize he's going to go for these, so I evacuate him to the gold over there, so that... Anyway, so I'm doing some pull tricking, which... this is a trick from AoE 3, where if you have units in your control group, they actually run faster to get in formation, but... I mismicro this a bit. I got all these guys in the front dying to the myth units, and I don't have enough priests. These guys are a little bit awkward because they get stuck in their animation. So now I'm in a really bad spot. He's got a lot of chariot archers, he's got some myth units, I don't have enough priests. But he runs them in and they die. And at this point I'm overwhelmed. I got lots of idle villagers. I got enemy in my base. There's a lot going on, but I have a lot of these guys, and these guys are amazing. So, even though he greatly outnumbers me, these guys trade insanely well against the chariot archers. It's actually incredible. So, but he does find this here, and I had the rally point to here, so he's killing a lot of villagers, so I have to fix that. And at this point I'm getting a stronghold down. I was trying to get this down for a while, but the enemy kept interrupting it. Just to kind of fortify the area, and got a lot of these crocodile laser dudes. Because my opponent's not making priests. Anyway, we're going to speed this up a bit until there's another fight. Just for the sake of your time. So really trying to mass an army here because I know my opponent has a big army. And I'll have to see at what point I go for trade. So what's my opponent up to? Let's take a look. So he went on the second town center. He's got a lot of villagers here, but he, like me, is also potentially floating a lot of wood. He forgets to build a... Okay. Alright, this looks like a UI bug. That's a lumber camp. But he forgets to build another one. He's got a pretty huge army here, a lot of myth units. I'm a bit in the dark, but I have a good amount of priests, but I think with how many myth units he has, I'd need a little bit more. Not sure. Anyway, he decides to attack. So we're going to slow it down. So I'm trying to micro here with my control groups, getting the priest to kill the myth units. I want the laser dudes to focus the chariot archers, even if they have to tank the myth units. And it's a little bit sloppy at first, but I eventually figure it out. And at this point, okay, it doesn't really show the queue, but I think I'm trying to rally a lot of units over. Opponent's continuously rallying units in, but I think I took another pretty good trade here. Opponent almost wipes me out. So I decided to push him in because I saw he just lost a lot of units, but then I spot he has myth units and I lost all my priests, so I decided to fall back. But I get reinforcing priests, so I come in again. But now I have priests, I feel safe to push. So I go in, and here I have a tough fight because I have a bit of the numbers advantage. I see an enormous amount of vills, and I want to kill them. But the problem is killing the vills. It puts me behind in the fight, so don't know if that was really the right choice. And I think for some reason they start auto-attacking the Scarab. Oh, I think it's low because I want to finish it off, and then I kind of underestimate how tanky it is. But I do eventually kill it, but I lose a lot of units for it, so probably not worth. Because it's only 300 food and 18 favor, so probably should have fell back, but still learning. So I kind of kite him backwards, and trying to keep these priests in the back. I don't really want them to be running forward unless there's a myth unit, because they die very quickly to the chariot archers. So anyway, at this point I'm stuck back in my base, I'm down in score, and he's got not too much of an army, but enough to be a problem, so still trying to rally units. So still just trying to pick off units here and there. Never really be able to push in too deep into his base, but take another fight against them. Try to keep decent positioning on the priests, and then I fall back because I see there's a stronghold. He's got a pretty good army. Don't want to lose my army because it'd be a good way to lose the game. I'm also massing lots of chariot archers at this point, but I think no, there's still a lot of gold, but that will change later. So once again, just taking more trades, trying to keep these priests back. And then I realize it's not really going in my favor, so I kind of fall back and wait for more units to mass. But now I got the crocodiles, so I'm in good shape here. Slowly just picking off those chariot archers, and these are pretty expensive. These are 140 a pop. So he's using a lot of his army, but I'm coming out ahead here. I'm going to speed this up because it's just a lot of continuous trades, but eventually I come out ahead, so I start picking off some vills. But he's really trickling in, so it's a lot of continuous fighting here, which, I mean, it can be interesting, but this is just your typical back and forth, you know, RTS combat. So, try to pick off as many vills as I can, because that'll cost him a lot to replace. He does have multiple town centers, but still a lot of resources he's losing, so going around with these chariot archers, just trying to slow down his economy. And then he has units trickling across the map with a rally point that he doesn't know about, so I'm just picking them off. trying to trim his army a bit. And then just deciding to run into his base and cause more trouble. And I forget to like move between attacks at first, so probably could have got a few more vills, but still doing a lot of damage. And he sends his whole army after me. I pick off a couple more, and then I realize I have to run or these are all gonna die. So I fall back. I had taken out the town center with war elephants. But now he's got a lot of elephants of his own. So there's really a lot going on here. So I'm trying to siege this down with the elephants because I see his armies over here. And his army's pretty slow because of the elephants. So I decide I'm just going to run everything over here. And I should be able to win it. So I play that out. And I'm taking on his army like in small pieces. And fortunately he starts cutting off all my priests, which, and then he gets on top of these villagers, which I don't know. Do I catch this? No, I'm too busy raiding him, so yeah, I end up losing like all these, probably like 25 villagers there, but at the same time he's losing his. So a lot of damage being done on both sides, a lot to keep track of here. He's raiding me, I'm raiding him, I got idle villagers. I send these guys to attack the catapult, but I don't even remember if they were successful or if they just died. Oh, they probably walk right into these and die. So yeah, I'm probably about to do 21 bills because I'm just too focused on over here. So I take out the catapult, but now they're just sitting there. Because, yeah, at this point, all my focus is over here. Oh, he's just gonna... Oh, those are all gonna die. Okay. But I win this fight over here. I just lose some villagers for it. Still a lot of back and forth going on. And I start cutting back because there's a lot of elephants. I think I missed... No, I wanted to focus the chariot archers first. Surely I fall back here, or I kite back, and then fall back. There's still a lot going on, and we're not even close to done yet. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Made a little noise. So now is when I really start getting the danger. Well, I'm low on gold. At this point I built markets because there's not much gold left on the map, and I'm trading in the back of the map. But at this point he's got a pretty big army with lots of siege on me. He's an age up on me. So a lot going on there. And I'm just trying to pick off his units as much as I can with this massive chariot archers. He's camping my production. Things are looking really bad here. So I am... At some point, I'm like desperately selling my wood just to get any gold I can, just to pump units, because if I lose my base here, the game's over. Like, once they hit my trade, there's just no recovering. So, we haven't seen it yet, but pretty soon I'm gonna sell like everything, and I think I eventually push him back here, also take out a lot of villagers. But this turned out to be a mistake. Like, yes, I get a lot of vills, but because of that, I trimmed like half my army there, and now he's kind of starting to get priority on me here. He's got all the units I don't, so... Well, yes, it hurt its economy. The problem is I lost all my tempo there. So things are going to get pretty bad pretty soon. I've already sold about 4,000 wood, you can see. And these elephants get absolutely shredded by these Avengers. So I'm throwing down these strongholds just out of desperation. I'm selling everything. Just doing whatever I can to get this guy out of my base. I'm buying mercenaries. I'm just doing everything. Like, because literally I am about to lose. Like, he's got all these elephants in my base. He's got archers. He's camping my production. So all I can really do is just sell everything, buy mercenaries, and hope I can kick them out. So that kind of continues. I'm trying to get strongholds down, just kind of turtling, and fortunately the strongholds just melt his chariot archers, and I kick him out. And I survive another day. But this game is still far from over. Now he's got siege on me. I don't really have any units. I have chariot archers, so I kick him off with those. Pick him off. How much are these? Oh, they're like 300 resources. And then I get war elephants to push him back. And so while I'm taking out like his forward stuff, I'm also trying to find stuff to take out with my archers, but unfortunately, right before I get to his economy, I run into like all this stuff and I realize I'm gonna lose my whole army if I stay here. So I end up losing 2 of these chariots for nothing. And then eventually I find this. But this is when it really starts to get interesting. So I just start picking off villagers. Figure get some free villager kills. I am losing units to the TC though, so not really sure if it's worth. So I try to count him back away from the TC, and I kind of wonder, like, why is he running this way? Why is he not garrisoning? But you'll see from my perspective pretty soon. I see a lot more villagers coming over, so I'm like, jackpot, maybe he's not paying attention. So these guys are still sieging. This is taking out vills, and I'm just like, oh man, if only I had more chariot archers, I could kill a lot more of these. So I follow these, see where they're going, while he's doing a great big retreat. And I'll find out soon enough, but just taking out as many villagers as I can. Trying to do as much damage as possible. And I wonder, like, what is he doing? And then I see it. I spotted it for a second, the Titan Gate. And now I'm like, oh no, if he gets this up, he wins, right? So I start rallying everything over that I got, military-wise, but it's not much. So I try to pick up a lot of vills building it, and bring my priests over to kill the myth units, but then I realize I don't have enough. I can't stop him from building this. But I try. I don't give up. So I put this stronghold down so I have something to fall back to. And I bring in all my elephants, but there's just way too much here. I'm not gonna stop this, right? I try, I fight. Because at this point... Okay, I think the map's empty, but he's building this, right? And I see this thing's getting built. There's no stopping it, so I have to fall back here in a second. Or I don't think I see it yet. I think when my units get close enough, I see it. And we see it. A giant titan. This guy's got 28,000 HP. He's got a massive AoE. And at this point, I've already lost all my army. So, at some point, I start pulling everything back. Because this thing's not going to go down easily. So I pull everything back, and what I do... you'll see my resources pretty soon. I'm going to start selling everything. I'm spamming temples, because if there's anything that can kill this thing, it's priests. Because they do bonus to myth units. So I'm spamming temples, I'm selling my wood, selling my food. Just trying to get as many of these building as I can. And he's crushing me, man. He's got a big AoE. You see that? Look at what he does to these villagers. Look at this. Oh, I didn't set him flying this time. He's pretty scary, but he's slow. But look at that, AoE. So he melts everything, right? So I'm just making as many temples as I can, selling as much wood and food as I can, and just spamming priests, because this Titan's going to destroy everything if I don't kill it. And my opponent, I saw how many villagers he sent to build that gate. He's all in on that Titan, basically. So I'm spamming priests. And the problem is this guy's already almost here. So then I decide to engage him. I go in split formation and I try to kite him so I don't lose too many. So we're gonna play this standard speed. Like, look at that AoE damage. So I'm trying to kite. It's been a little awkward. So I'm just kiting him. I'm in stagger formation so that his smash doesn't do as much. And then I decide I'm going to split them into 2 groups here. So I got one group kiting on the left, one group kiting on the right, and I'm a little bit sloppy here. I lose some damage on the first group, but still spamming lots of priests, you know. He's still got over half his health. And I'm just trying to be as spread out as I can. And I actually dodged the stomp there. So keeping these really spread out, getting him stuck inside the temples. He actually can't walk over here. It's not enough space for him. So he's just killing these few units here while the majority of the group's doing the DPS here. But he eventually gets through. He finds a way through. So I fall back. Just keeping my distance from him. I see these guys stomp there, so these guys fall back, forces him to change direction. And the Titan goes down. And with that, my opponent surrenders. And the game's over. That was probably my favorite game of the beta. I just had to record it to share it. Thanks everyone for watching.